On everyone. I wasn't really planning on making a video today. I've been kind of feeling under the weather past couple days. So I wanted to get my voice and mentally and physically prepare myself for WrestleMania weekend. But nevertheless, there's been a lot of headlines. There's been a lot of news going on, mainly particularly in the WWE and even AEW that I wanted to go ahead. I want to make a little video talking about it. Uh, so there's been some outrage. There's been some heat. There's been some not so good positive reactions towards the comments that Roman Reigns made while he was promoting WrestleMania on Vanity Fair. So Roman Reigns, he came out in support for President Donald Trump, and it's well known that if you're not a fan of the president, then well, you know how disliked the president is these days. Which I don't blame anybody for not liking the president. I'm not necessarily a big fan of the big man in office myself, but Roman Reigns being a very influential figure in the wrestling business. I mean, he's the biggest star in the WWE. Ultimately, when he makes an announcement like that, he supports the president. It's going to get a lot of backlash. It's going to get a lot of negative reaction. But at the end of the day, what many people have to understand is that these wrestlers, they're not going to have the same viewpoint as you. They're not going to have the same mindset. They're not going to have the same opinion as you. And if we're talking about wrestlers that have openly came out in support for a man like Donald Trump, Roman Reigns is not the only one. The Undertaker has came out in support. Uh, I'm trying to think. Triple H, I know you recently came out. A lot. I think there's a lot of other WWE superstars that have been in support for Donald Trump. We're talking like following him on social media platforms and things of that nature. Now, does this mean that, oh, I guess we can't be a fan of Roman Reigns? I guess we can't acknowledge the tribal chief. That's up to you. Me personally, I still think Roman Reigns is a future Hall of Famer. I still think Roman Reigns is one of the biggest stars in this business, and he is in a position where he's in right now, and well deserving. So I'm not just gonna flat out say I hate the man because he supports a guy that I'm not a big fan of. Now, you may have a different opinion than me, and that it is what it is. At the end of the day, if you feel like that you can't support Roman Reigns, you can't support what he's doing and the character that the tribal chief has been on, well, then it is what it is at the end of the day. But this is professional wrestling. At the end of the day, life goes on. The Undertaker is still one of the greatest characters to ever do it. Triple H is going in the Hall of Fame this Friday, so WWE, they're still going to be putting on WrestleMania. They're still going to be doing their thing. It is what it is at the end of the day. Uh, but I know I've been seeing people been clowning on WWE this week as far as PR wise. I know Nick Khan, he had some comments about AEW on a little podcast he was on earlier this week. So the WWE PR apparently hasn't been that good this past week for their biggest show. But I wanted to end the video off on a somewhat positive note. Like I said, I've been feeling under the weather, so unfortunately, I missed the show last night. I was able to catch up on a little bit this morning, but last night was quite possibly, uh, with spring break in, the best show, dynamite show that AEW's put on in a minute. And this show was very special because this was the AEW Dynamite that had officially passed WCW Monday at Nitro, as far episode wise. So very historic moment for them and a crazy ending to the show. You had some very, very incredible matches that you could honestly put on pay-per-view. You had the Will Ospreay and Knetska rematch. You had Mercedes Moné and Athena, and a very, very big women's match that I know a lot of people have been wanting to see for a while now, which I best believe there will be a rematch down the line. So I got to give credit where credit is due. I know we have gotten on AEW when it comes to booking wise and this and that, but you know what? When they put on a great show, I'm not gonna sit up here and not acknowledge it. And I think AEW last night did just that. They put on a very, very enjoyable show. So anyways, nonetheless, I just wanted to come on here and just kind of make a little video on that. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, and that pretty much wraps up the video.